Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Tara Barnes-Darby, Director of INMAC's Conferences Division, and we are so glad to get ready for the summit. We're, a little nervous getting back to in-person meetings. Our last in-person meeting was the last summit that was in Houston, which was 2019. But nevertheless, we're glad that we have repivoted back to meeting in person and seeing everyone. So let's get ready to meet. The summit's going to be 2 weeks from today. I hope that you're all excited to see all of your friends and your coworkers and get ready to network again. Today, we're going to go over some important programmatic information, logistical information. So let's get started. Chip, we can start the presentation. Great. So I'm joined today by the team. We can start with the next slide, who's worked hard to make this happen. Again, I'm Tara Barnes-Darby, Director of the Conferences Division. I'm joined by Allison McKeithen, our Assistant Director of Conferences, Shante Gray, the Senior Registrar and Meeting Planner, Damian Cabrera Candelaria, the Program Manager for the Treatment Department, and he's been in charge. He and his team has been in charge for the program, for the summit of the program. Darnell Green is our Social Media Coordinator. All right, so Damian's gonna tell us about the plenary session.
Awesome, great. Thank you, Tara, for the introduction. I'm Damian Cabrera, Program Manager for the Treatment Division, and I hope you're all excited as I am to attend the summit in Chicago. And we are going to start our program with the opening plenary. It's called The Role of Biomedical Prevention in Ending the HIV Epidemic. And as you can see from the pictures, we're gonna have an amazing lineup of people that are creating changes inside the community. So we are going to have Dimitri Daskalakis from the CDC, and he will be giving us a little bit of background of the state of the HIV epidemic in the United States and Puerto Rico. And he will also talk about the role of biomedical HIV prevention and EHE/government efforts to ending the HIV epidemic. We're also going to have Abraham Johnson from Treatment Access Group, or TAG, and he's going to bring the community and the individual challenges accessing PrEP, and his talk is going to be focused on social determinants of health. And we are going to also have Amy, and Amy is going to bring the financial point of view to access PrEP, and also what's the impact of injectable and also new technologies that are on the pipeline. And we are also going to have community members, Ariana Lin from Ariana Center, Terrell Parker from NMAC, and Mariah Wilberg from Prevention Access Campaign. And they will not only bring their own personal experiences, but also they will provide us some insight about how determinants of health and how identities play a role into ending the HIV epidemic, and how U equals U plays a central role into ending the HIV epidemic. Next slide, please. And we're also going to have a really fun plenary. It's called Grinding Stigma in the Underground, Negotiating Sex in the Apps World. And this plenary is essentially based on a report done by BHOC, that's Building Healthy Online Communities. And the report is called Nice AF. And in their report, they essentially describe experiences of stigma in hookup apps/hookup sites, and they gather all this information. They did interviews, they gather, the experiences of community members, of their users, in order to be able to provide apps with feedback on how they can they can turn these spaces into safe spaces for the community, spaces that are not stigmatizing and that welcome the diversity, because as many of us know that these spaces can be a lot of fun, but also can be very stigmatizing, particularly for those communities of color. So we're going to have Jen Hedge from BHOC, Portia Dees, and Portia is part of our HIV 50 plus group. Alexi Diaz, who is part of the Gay Men of Color Fellowship, Jax from Let's Kick Ass Palm Springs, and also a member of our HIV 50 plus group, and Lauren Miller from NMAC. We are so excited for this plenary. I know we're going to learn a lot. It's going to be fun, and I know it's also going to, bring some light to the experiences that many of us endure these applications and how they can do better. Next slide, please. For the third plenary, we have Can Fantasies Become Realities? The Quest for Multi-Purpose Prevention Products. This plenary is based on a series of webinars that Jim Pickett has been doing. So we are in collaboration with Jim, who is now an HIV prevention research and implementation consultant. And for those that don't know, multi-purpose prevention products are essentially products that not only serve to prevent HIV, but for example, to prevent other STIs or prevent pregnancy, for example. And we're gonna have as community members, Renaya Copeland, founder and principal of Equity and Impact Solution, Dr. Craig Hendricks, welcome professor and director for the Division of Clinical Pharmacology, and also Lucas Rojas from Health Services and Behavioral Research Associate. And in this plenary, not only Dr. Craig is going to be sharing what's in the pipeline, what are those technologies that might come in the future, but also the community members are going to share their insight, their feedback into how we can make sure that once those technologies become available, if they come available, as some of them are clinical trials, that they reach those that need it the most. As we know that there are so many intersections with race, with gender identity, and we just want to make sure that we kind of inform the community on what's the state of these technologies and how the community can take action to make sure that we have access. Next slide, please. And as our closing plenary, we are going to have for the first time ever the PrEPI Awards. It's the best PrEP education program and campaigns in 2021. And the speakers are going to be Cora Treyes, Cartagena. She's the HIV Systems Coordinator for NMAC, and also Moises Agosto, who's the treatment director also here at NMAC. And for the first time ever, what we did, I don't know if you folks saw it, but we put out there a request for you to submit campaigns, PrEP campaigns that you have seen or that you have organized, and then a panel is actually evaluating these campaigns, and we are going to focus this conversation around not only about those designs and those messages and what make them successful, but we're also going to touch base in how other organizations can take this information, can take the expertise from these campaigns, and that they can develop impactful, meaningful campaigns to ensure that those that need the information to increase the awareness, particularly on communities of color, is there. And we are super excited. Folks in the audience will be able to vote on the top campaigns that this panel evaluated. So we are super excited, and make sure that you have your phone accessible at the end of the plenary, because we are going to vote and we are going to choose the winner there. So we are super excited for this plenary also. And make sure if you have any questions, please make sure to put them on the chat box. We will address them at the end of the webinar. Next slide, please. That's it for me.
All right, thanks, Damian. I'm excited for those plenaries. I wanted to add, we have welcomed back our enigmatic host, Ken like Barbie, to actually guide us through the plenaries. So he'll definitely keep it fun and exciting, and we just can't wait for that to get started. Okay, so let's go through the agenda. So before the summit officially starts, we'll have registration at the exhibit hall on Tuesday, April 19th. And on Wednesday, we start really early at the crack of dawn, you may see. So if you didn't get a chance to register on Tuesday, you can register at 7 a.m. And so you don't have to check in that early. So on Tuesday, you don't have to be there at noon. If you like to get it over with, that'd be great. But just going back to Tuesday, also the exhibit hall will be open, and the exhibitors will all be there, and we'll have some snacks there too, as well as a DJ. So please stop by. So again, going back to Wednesday. So yeah, registration opens at 7. We'll have breakfast starting at 7:30. This is all on the same level. It's on the 4th level of the hotel. And then we'll go directly into the opening plenary. The meals also take place in the exhibit hall, but the tables are not going to be staffed until 10 a.m., so they'll be stanchioned off. So during the meal times, the exhibit hall and the exhibitors are not going to be staffing their table. We then start the full program day and end with the welcome reception that has been coordinated by the host committee. All right, looking at Thursday now. Thursday is the second and final day of the summit. We'll be ending at 2:30, but there's still a lot going on that day. We have 2 plenary sessions, a workshop session, and the exhibit hall will be open. All right, Allison.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tara. And good to see everybody. I can't wait to see you in Chicago. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the community corner and a little bit of the layout of the hotel so you can be familiar with that. But I'm going to go off camera so that my internet doesn't fail and we don't get any stuck situations. But I just want everybody to see me for a second. But I do look forward to seeing all your faces on site. So I'm glad everyone's here. And I wanted to highlight our community corner, which is programming that this year has been driven by our host committee, our Chicago host committee. And these community corners will be highlighting programs and ventures and organizations that are doing great things in Chicago. They're going to be talking about what they're doing great, what their challenges are. So this is a great opportunity to get to know Chicago, get to know Illinois, and listen to their programs and really engage with the local community. And so they're really excited. They've put together some great programs. And as we get closer, we'll update our online agenda and we'll update in the app the titles of those community corners so that you don't miss a thing. And it will be located in the Columbus B room on the level 3, which is the lobby level. All right, so here are the times. Again, we'll list them out on our agenda and we'll promote those so that you don't miss them at all. All right, next slide, please. And so another big thing, I know a lot of people come to the conferences to get their continuing education units, and thankfully our conference has been approved to offer up to 12 continuing education units or continuing education hours for the following 3 organizations. So we are approved for the National Commission for Health Education Credentialing, which is known as NCHEC, and they offer CHES credits. We're also approved through the National Association for Social Workers, so that's NASW. And we are also offering general CEUs through George Mason University. Next slide, please. So again, we have a new system this year for CEUs. We are engaging a CEU portal, an evaluation portal, where you'll be able to create a profile. You'll be able to log in your hours. You'll be able to do the evaluations and print your own certificate. So right here is a screen, which you'll see when you log in. We'll have access to the portal in the Summit app. And also on the Summit website under FAQs, you'll be able to see the CEU portion and link straight into this portal. And you can find this information. So next slide, just to go over the steps. Once you're in the portal, you create your account. They'll have tasks available for you. There'll be tasks to create your account. You'll add in the credentials that you're looking for. You'll do it for each workshop that you attended, and then you'll have the option to print your certificate. For anyone who's looking for general CEUs through George Mason University, there will be an additional link for you to submit information for them to actually log those credits. They charge a fee of $50 for those CEUs. All this information is also located on our FAQs page on the Summit website. Thank you so much. And now I welcome my colleague Darnell to talk about the app.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darnell Green. I'm the social media coordinator here at INMAC. And this year, for downloading the 2022 Summit app, if you have Android or Apple phone, you will go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. You will look for CVent Events. Their logo is the blue icon that you see with the C in the middle of it. You will search Biomedical Prevention Summit. And then the arrow next to it, you will hit download and download it onto your phones. Next slide. Once you begin to download it to your phone, screen 1 is what you will see as the rotated objects go around. Once it finishes, you'll get the splash screen of the Biomedical Prevention Summit. Once you get to that screen, it will start to load. Next slide. And then you will get the home screen. On the home screen, there's multiple features in the app. We have our sponsors links. We have the attractions for Chicago. We have our IDME upload. If you need to upload your vaccination card, there's the INMAC programs that are offered. There's the gamification, the game inside of our homepage as well. Go ahead and hit next. All right, then there's a schedule tab, profile tab, and the more tab. Under the schedule tab, you'll find our registration portion. You'll find everything that the sessions you want to attend for the plenaries. And then in the profile tab, it's where you create your account. You see the turquoise box. You will click the turquoise box, and then on the next slide, I'll show you the steps on how to register. On the more tab, there's our exhibition hall, there's our event map, there's more links to the sessions and the sponsors. Next slide. And then right here is where you'll register. So once you get to the registration page, you'll put in your first name, your last name, and your email. It's going to send you either a text with your information, or it's going to send you an email with the verification code. Once you put the verification code in, it literally is going to populate you into the system, and then you'll be able to access all the features of the app. Next slide. So make sure that when you're at the conference that you're using the hashtag 2022BHPS so that we could see all of the things that you're featuring, and make sure you're logging and tagging us on Twitter at INMAC Community, on Facebook at INMAC Community, and on Instagram at INMAC HIV. Thank you.
Thank you, Darnell. My name is Shantae Gray. I'm the Senior Registrar and Event Planner here at INMAC. Or you call me the Director of First Impressions, because you probably seen my name on all the emails, and I'm looking forward and super excited to see and meet all of you guys at the conference. So I want to go over a couple little things. Well, they're really not little, but I do want to go over something that's super big. So as you know, this year we have a COVID-19 policy. You may have seen in the newsletter, I may have sent out a couple of emails, you've seen it in your confirmation email, but it's imperative and very important that everyone upload their vaccine information. The deadline is Friday, April the 8th. If you have not done it, please, 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 as we get off this call, make sure you go and upload your information. And again, you could go into the IDME. And if you don't have it, we can send it to you again. But we have a Summit IDME, and the steps are very, very easy. I've been getting several questions about, do I need to use the same email I used when I registered? And you don't. The most important thing is your first and last name that is matching up. And if it don't, and some people does not, we can also handle that issue as it comes around. But please go on, log on, put in your email address, come up with a password, and upload your vaccination card. If you have any questions or concern, please let us know now before we get on site. Please, 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 we're available now to answer any questions that have to do with uploading the IDME. Next, please. I'm sorry, uploading your vaccination. Secondly, you will receive an email, and the email will look literally just like this email. Basically, it's a thank you email, but it's also what's the most important part. It's your barcode. If you've been to the summit before, any of the MAC conferences, we have a system where you can scan your barcode and your badge will automatically print out. But this year, to expedite everything, we're asking for two things. Not much, y'all. Don't start shaking your head. We're not asking for too much. We're asking for two things. One, to have your barcode available, and at least have a screenshot of your IDME, the green screen showing that you have been verified and all of your information has been uploaded. You will receive this email twice. You'll receive it on April the 15th, and you'll receive it on April the 18th. Please make sure if you don't receive it by 5 o'clock on both days, please check your spam folder. More than likely, because we're sending this to over 1,000 people, more than likely it's easy that some of the stuff will go to your spam folder. Please check your spam folder. And another thing that's truly, I should have said at the beginning, that's very important. We are not having any on-site registrations. So no one can just walk in and register for the conference. You have to be already registered. You have to already uploaded your vaccination information into the system. Next. And let's talk about registration, where you'll see me. This year, you will see a majority of the MX staff at the registration booth. So we're looking forward to welcome you back to the conference, our first conference after the COVID pandemic. So the registration is located on the fourth floor. I'm sorry, the fourth level at the foyer. It's Tuesday, April the 19th from 12 to 6. We'll be there. Also, the exhibit hall, as Tara said, the exhibit hall will be open and it'll have some snacks. So please come through and get your registration. Also, and here's a little tidbit while other people are not on this call. If you come on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure the lines will be very low, so it won't be as many people. So if you want to stop out on Tuesday, it's the best time to come. And if you want to ask questions, you want to meet the staff, come on Tuesday. We'll be a little bit more flexible and be able to have a little bit more conversations. Wednesday, we're open from Wednesday, April the 20th, we're open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Thursday, April the 21st, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Next, please. So also for the meals will be located in the Chicago Ballroom, and it's 8 through 10. And you'll see it, and the staff can show you where it is as well. We will have breakfast and lunch provided on April the 20th and 23rd. 21st. The 23rd, I'll be on vacation, y'all, so please forgive me. Breakfast will be from 7:30 to 8:15 a.m. and lunch from 12 to 1 p.m. And then we'll have Tara go over the locations in the map.
Great. Thank you so much, Shantae. So the conference space is going to be spread over 3 floors. So this first slide shows level 4, and we chose to start with this because this is the one where it's going to be a lot of activity and a lot of the main sessions are going on here. So if you look at the lower portion of the map where you see registration, In the ballroom promenade, that's where you would actually come to register for the conference. That's where Shantae will be. That's where you'll be able to get your badge and get any general questions answered. In the middle of the space, you'll see the Sheraton Chicago Ballroom, and specifically those the middle 4 sections, 4 through 7. That'll be where the plenary sessions are. So for those of you who've been to the summit, you know that the summit has a different feel from USCHA. We actually don't have sit-down banquet meals there. The plenary ballroom is a place for where we'll have theater seating that is surrounding a circular stage. We're so excited about that format, something that's unique to us. But you'll be able to go in there to watch the plenaries. But before then, if you look to the right of the screen, we're at Chicago Ballrooms 8 through 10. That's where the exhibit hall is, and that's also where the meals are. So basically what you'll do is you'll come in the morning and, for lunch, you'll go into that room, grab something to eat. We'll have a few tables in there for you to sit, but for the most part, you can just grab something and be able to go into the plenary sessions, sit down and eat. A lot of the meals, for the most part, what we're providing are grab and go things. So there's no need, there won't be, really big plates, heavy plates to balance. A lot of the things that we're offering are grab and go items. Okay. Also on that level, the left side of the screen, you'll see workshops. These are our larger workshops. Workshops are actually on all 3 levels of the property, but some of the larger workshops will be held in Sheraton Ballrooms 1 through 3. And our conference office is going to be in the ballroom office. That's the lower right-hand screen. So if you want to sign up for an affinity session, or you have any questions about the conference, you have any issues that you want to address, that's where MMAC staff will be. All right, next slide. Level 3. So for the most part, the conference space is stacked, but I know the floors can be a little confusing. So level 3 is actually the lobby level of the hotel. So, that's where you will come in and check into your room. We have a few meeting rooms on this level. They actually also have a conference center. But for the most part, the workshops will be either on level 4 or level 2. Next slide. And level 2. So here are where a lot of the other breakouts are. So, you won't have to, even though it's on 3 different floors, you won't have to go down a lot of different corridors. The meeting space is pretty much stacked. Okay, I believe we finished going through the meeting space, Chip. Next slide. All right. So I wanted to thank our summit sponsors, definitely Gilead, Aviv Healthcare, and Mr. And we're going to open it up for questions. But before I do that, I also wanted to thank our host committee, Chicago Host Committee. As soon as, as late rather as February this year, we didn't know if we were going to be able to meet in person. If you recall, Omicron was ramping up. We were still, in a place where we were going to decide whether we needed to pivot to a virtual space. But, we made the decision in February that we were going to meet in person. And we went to the Chicago Host Committee and asked them to help us. And they've done that. And they didn't have to. They didn't get the lead time that a lot of other host committees get, but they have really come through for us. So we are so grateful to them. And I hope that you definitely express that to them when you come on site. So let's go ahead and open it up to questions. All right, Chip.
Okay, we have a few questions, more than a few. First question, Damian, someone was asking what the report from the BHOC was called. They didn't catch the name of it.
Nice AF.
So, okay.
You can actually
A couple
look it up. I think it's niceaf.org, and the actual report will come up.
Okay. We've had a couple of questions about dress code.
The dress code is business casual. We, want everybody to come as themselves, feel comfortable, but if you're unsure, business casual works.
Yeah, I wanted to add that we're going to have a photo booth, so business casual or, dress as fun as you want.
Question on the app. What is the name of the app again? A couple of people have tried to look for it and have not been able to find it in the store.
If you search in the store, it's CVENT, CVENT, then the word events with an S on the end.
And Janelle, can you add, tell them about when the app was actually all going to be ready to go?
So currently right now, the app is in a trial run. What we're trying to work out the kinks. It'll be ready and running by next Friday. And so if you find the app and you download it, if there are things in there for you to see, like the plenary sessions, the sessions that are being offered, but it won't be fully functional until next Friday.
And we're constantly adding things to it. So.
Correct.
Awesome.
Questions about confirming that we've received vaccine certification. I can't talk today, sorry. Questions about making sure we receive confirmation of vaccines.
Yeah, so you should have received an email also from IDME. Now, Senator Shante, you want to address that?
Sure. So for IDME, they should give you like a green screen at the end that said that you have been verified. And that's what you would need to bring or to show us once you get to the conference.
Yeah, and they also should send a confirmation email to you. And in that email, there's this purple sticker or a purple tile that says vaccination verified. And it's in a confirmation email, and that also is acceptable to bring on site.
Also, I should add, because I see that I'm getting a couple of emails right now, that you do not have to use the same email you used when you registered. It's whatever email you want to use on IDME. Chip.
Sorry. We had a question about how parking works.
The conference does not have covered parking. It have parking on site.
Question about how many people are attending this year.
Well, surprisingly, we are approaching, we thought it's going to be a smaller conference, but I think that we're approaching about 900 people once everyone's registered, and perhaps over that. So we're excited, and we're glad that people felt comfortable enough to meet with us in person.
Yeah.
Question again about IDME. What is the printout you need from ID?
It's a confirmation. So there are two things that you see. Like Shante mentioned, there's a green screen. Once you finish your verification, it'll let you know verified. You can do a screen capture of that and show that to us. So if it's on your laptop or on your phone, screen capture, screenshot that. Or you can wait until they send you a confirmation email. That email has, vaccination verified. It looks like it's a little square tile with a little purple header on it that says vaccination verified. You want to show us that or the screen capture, okay?
Okay. Another question related to IDME. Once you're registered in IDME, can you access our vaccine information?
No. So the reason why we wanted to do this is to make sure that everyone is vaccinated. So you would have to show us your vaccination status through them. They're the ones who vaccinated. There are a lot of, HIPAA compliance things. So we don't want access to your vaccination information. So we asked them to verify it. And then once they verify it, with you, then you can show us that you're verified as a vaccinated, your vaccinations are current.
A few people asking about scholarship recipients and hearing about flight and hotel reservations.
Sure. So if you're a scholarship recipient and you have any questions about flights, hotel, or anything around the scholarship, if it's option B, please contact me. If it's gay man of color, please contact Damian.
Okay. Question, if we already sent the verification by email, do we need to show the verification on site?
Yes.
Could an email be sent out about the app for the conference and the benefits of using it? We will send it. We'll include that in our newsletter next Thursday with a link to where to download it and how to access it. So if you're registered for the summit, you've been added to our newsletter list. So keep an eye out for that next Thursday. The letters for the app again. Darnell, the letters for the name of the app again.
It's CVent, C as in caterpillar, V as in violin, E as in entertainment, N as in Nancy, T as in train, and then event. E as in entertainment, V as in violin, E as in entertainment, N as in Nancy, T as in train, S as in Simon. CVent events.
And then you look for Biomedical Summit, correct?
All right, you look for Biomedical Prevention Summit.
Okay. Just a confirmation on parking, said the conference does not have covered parking.
That is correct. We do not cover parking.
Okay.
However, there is
So-
parking at the hotel, but it's not covered by MAC.
A couple of people who've raised their hands. Can you please ask your question in the chat box? The website, which, suppose that's your right, the website in the chat. Which website are you asking for? We can definitely put that in the chat. Just let me know which website you're looking at. Oh, thank you, Shante.
You're welcome.
What is the email for the confirmation for the COVID vaccine? Is the confirmation email they would receive for their vaccine certification?
It would come from IDME. ID.me.
Okay. Any other questions? Please enter them in the chat box. We don't have any more right now, but I'm sure somebody will pop up with one here in a second.
I'm trying to think of anything else we didn't cover. I do want to say, Darnell, I know that when I was initially downloading the app, it was a little slow, so people just need to be a little patient. Just put the phone down and go somewhere else. Go ahead.
Also, I do want to say, yeah, you do need to stay on the page when it downloads, because that happened to me too. It did take a minute. But whatever email you register with is the email that you have to use in signing up for the app, because that's the only email that it will have access to.
Chip, someone's saying is that the email, the chat box is not working. That's why they're raising their hands.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's see.
And hold on one second, guys. We'll be with you.
We have another question. It's a dress code again. Are blue jeans, sneakers, and t-shirt okay?
They're fine.
I also see a question, someone's asking about checking in at the hotel and guaranteeing your room for incidentals. So yeah, so just like most hotels, they require you to leave a credit card for incidentals. If you are a scholarship recipient, please contact us if you're having issues with that, so that we can work with you on your incidentals, and we'll work with the hotel on that.
Chip, when was this webinar be up on our website?
It'll be available on the venue page of the Summit website tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
And everyone who registered will receive an email link to see it.
Thank you. I'm trying to see any more questions.
Let's see. An app question. Someone downloaded and installed the app and has to add and had be asked to see the verification code, but the email has not come through after 20 minutes of waiting. So there may be an issue with maybe the verification emails may just be slow.
No, so no one will receive a verification email until Friday. So you can register for the app now, but it won't the attendees are not populated into it. We won't be populating them until Friday. So on Friday, it's when everyone can create their login IDs. So right now you just can browse and get familiar with it.
Okay, and another question about a code. I think you just answered that question for the code for the verification code for the app. They just answered that question. So that, Darnell, just clarify, is that this Friday or next Friday?
Next Friday.
Okay. Okay. No further questions at the moment. Again, if you have a question, please put it in the, somebody put it in the question box, not the chat box.
And you can always email us at conferences@inmac.org.
No other questions right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. We are looking forward to seeing you in Chicago. As we said, if you have any questions, email the conference department, conferences@inmac.org. We look forward to meeting all of you. Thank you and have a safe travel.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you. See you in Chicago.
Bye.